She's doing it.
Oh.
Hola. Ooh.
Hola, Marilyn.
It says my speaker is not working. Hang on. Magnífico. Ok, vamos a grabar ahora toda la clase. Para que sepan, bienvenidos a todos y bienvenidas. Welcome to everybody. Some of you are new, some of you are old hands. Bienvenidos y bienvenidas a todos. Welcome to everybody. And just a quick little housekeeping. We always record class so that if you miss, you can go back on YouTube and watch on your own. Or if there's some little segment you need to watch again, you know, these things happen. You can go do that. It is a YouTube channel that really, I just give the link to people in the class. There, you know, there could be an errant person watching here and there in the world. Why? I don't know, because it's a class, but once in a while I get a stray person, but I only send the link out for you to get it if you're in the class. Also, after class, I always send an email that just recaps, here's what we worked on, again, so that if you're absent, you've got it, or if you need the computer files we use, you can go get it. It'll have all the links for everything we used as an exercise. It'll have links for any websites we might use. It'll have links for any listening videos we used during class. So you always have a record of all the materials that we did during class. And I usually send that out a couple hours after class is done. Vale, bien. It is always okay to interrupt when I'm talking to ask a question, but because I often do a share screen, if you put the little hands up, I may or may not see it. So always feel free to interrupt. It is okay. Bye. ¿Qué más? ¿Qué más? What else? If you do have workmen in your house making lots of noise, please do put yourself on mute. That's the only thing we're going to say. If you've got furry friends who are making lots of noise because you have a delivery and the doorbell rang.
They're drinking quietly in the corner. It's all right.
Yeah, you know, you got the guys with the wet saw doing something with cutting tile. Put yourself on mute, please. Because, yeah, the other people get like, you know, when that happens. Okay. Nada más. And always email me after class if you have questions and with suggestions. On occasion, we will go into some small group breakouts, and we'll do a little bit of that today. So you'll see what that feels like. When we have a small breakout group, it means you've got a small group of usually about 3 people to practice with in a smaller setting. So it's easy for everybody to get a little more time to practice speaking and bouncing ideas off each other and coaching each other. And when I put you into the little breakout rooms, as they call them in Zoom, part of the logic of that, and I used to do this in person with people really the same way, is, you know, when we make our bubbles and mistakes, as we will, as is natural, you know, it's very, very good for people at your own level to help coach each other. Like, you know, oh, that's a great idea. Or, oh, you know, that's a great idea, but that little word you used, do we pronounce it a little differently this way? So helping to coach each other, peer coaching, is always a good thing. Okay, vale, vamos a empezar. Vamos a empezar hoy vamos a practicar con cosas muy simples, cosas muy fáciles. La primera clase, the first class, I always try to design some exercises that will be super easy, because for a lot of people, it's, you know, the difference between jumping into the pool, just jumping in, doing a cannon bomb, versus dipping your toe in the pool. Yeah, and what's more comfortable? Dipping your toe in. Okay. We're going to start today with a video. It's going to be about, ¿de cuántos minutos? 5 minutos, 7 minutos, quizás más o menos. Es un video muy fácil, muy simple. En el video tiene ejemplos. It has examples. El video tiene ejemplos de una idea que nosotros vamos a practicar cuando nos hablamos, when we talk to each other. ¿Vale? ¿Sí? Bien. So I'm going to show the little video. I'm going to put on subtitles because, again, this is the dip your toe in the pool rather than cannonball in. Bien. Momentito. And when we're done with the video, I'm going to kind of illustrate a little bit of the principle that we're going to talk about and practice, and you'll have a chance to practice this a few minutes later. Okay, vale. Este video es de costumbres, de tradiciones del nuevo año. These are New Year traditions. Okay. Vale. Ver la pantalla. Can you see the screen? With the orangish? ¿Sí? Bien. Okay. Vale. Magnífico. Voy a engrandecer. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger.
Hola, ¿cómo están? Yo soy Shell de Colombia y hoy estoy haciendo mi muñeco para fin de año. ¿Tú sabías?
Estoy haciendo mi muñeco para el fin del año. El fin del año es 2023, el 31 de diciembre, ¿no? Sí. Estoy haciendo mi muñeco. I'm making my doll. You may say, why is somebody making a doll? Van a ver, you're going to see.
¿Sabías que aquí en Colombia hacemos muñecos como estos?
Hacemos muñecos como estos. We make dolls. ¿Sí? Like these. Como estos.
Para quemarlos. Para quemarlos. En fin de año.
Para quemarlos en fin de año. To do what with them? Tienen una foto. To do what? To burn them. Burning dolls. What a concept. Okay.
El 31 de diciembre es una tradición aquí en Colombia y algunos países de Latinoamérica como Argentina o Panamá. Quemar el muñeco significa quemar las cosas malas del año anterior y recibir el nuevo año con buena suerte.
Sí. La palabra suerte es luck. ¿Sí? Buena suerte. Entonces, ¿sí? Los muñecos son símbolos. Son símbolos de las malas cosas, del año anterior. ¿Okay? Bien. Y la tradición de quemar los símbolos de malas cosas, ¿sí? Es para recibir buena suerte en el año nuevo. ¿Entienden? ¿Understand? ¿Sí? Ok. Ella va a hablar de tradiciones del año nuevo en otros países que no son Estados Unidos. ¿Sí? Sí. Ok. Vale.
Otra
Adelante.
tradición de fin de año aquí en Latinoamérica y también algunos países de Europa es utilizar ropa interior de
¿Qué es ropa interior? Ropa. ¿Qué es ropa interior? En inglés. En inglés, ¿cómo se dice ropa interior? Underwear.
Sí.
Utilizar es como usar. Usar, ¿sí? Ropa interior. Ropa interior es un término muy lógico. It's a really logical term, ¿sí? Clothes you wear inside son underwear. Ok, vale. Bueno.
diferentes colores. El 31 de diciembre las personas usan ropa interior de color amarillo para tener riqueza. Riqueza. El año que viene usan ropa interior.
And that little, I'm just going to interrupt here, that little snippet, that chunk of words, el año que viene, ¿sí? Que viene, that is coming. En inglés se dice the coming year, upcoming year, the new year, okay? You can't say el próximo año, next year, pero es muy común. This is a chunk of words that hangs together. El año que viene, the year that's coming, the upcoming year, okay? And we can tweak that to say la semana que viene, the upcoming week. El mes que viene, the upcoming month, the month that we're going into. Okay, ¿vale? See? So you can reuse that little chunk with different time periods, right? The coming year, the coming month, the coming week, something with que viene, that is coming. Okay, adelante, forward.
De color rojo para encontrar pareja y amor el siguiente año. O también usan azul, usan ropa interior de color azul para tener buena salud el próximo año y no enfermarse. En Brasil, las personas se ponen ropa de color blanco, camisas de color blanco, pantalón de color blanco, medias de color blanco, zapatos, todo blanco. Van a la playa y saltan 7 olas.
Sí, saltan, they jump. So here would be like jump through. En Brasil, solamente en Brasil, ¿ok? Saltan 7 olas, ¿sí? Las olas están en el océano, en el mar, ¿sí? Olas, waves.
Para atraer buena suerte. También hay otras tradiciones de fin de año en todo el mundo que son muy interesantes. En Escocia, la primera persona.
En Escocia. Escocia es un país al norte de Inglaterra. Escocia. Escocia es un lugar de scones. Escocia es el país de bagpipes, sí, de gaitas. Sí, Escocia es Scotland. Ella va a hablar de Scotland, sí. En Escocia, la primera persona. In Scotland, the first person who.
Que vaya a tu casa después de la medianoche debe llevar regalos. Debe llevar regalos.
So the first person who comes to your house should bring gifts. See? Llevar regalos. Should bring gifts.
Como pan, sal o whisky.
Whisky, wow. Whisky a la 1 de la noche. Wow, wow.
Para tener abundancia en el año nuevo. Para tener mucho dinero y mucha comida. En Hong Kong, algunas personas lanzan mandarinas al
Lanzan mandarina. Lanzar es throw, ¿sí? Think of a lance. Es como lance in inglés. See, what do you do with a lance? You chuck it, right? You throw it. Okay. Lanzar mandarinas, naranjas. Mandarinas aquí son como naranjas más pequeñas, sí, más pequeñas, pero en algunos países hispanohablantes, mandarina es igual a naranja normal. Ok, lanzan mandarinas. They throw oranges. Vale.
mar en año nuevo para deshacerse o echar la mala suerte del año anterior. En Italia, las personas comen lentejas en año nuevo o ponen lentejas en varios lugares de la casa.
Sí.
Como
Y lentejas, ella tenía una foto de lentejas. Lentejas son como lentils, sí. Sí.
la puerta de entrada, las esquinas de la casa
Corners.
o en los bolsillos de la ropa para atraer riqueza y buena fortuna. En Finlandia y Alemania, las personas derriten.
Derriten es melt. Esta palabra es difícil. Derriten es melt.
Pequeños trozos de plomo en un
Y plomo es lead. Derriten plomo. They melt lead down. ¿Por qué?
una cuchara sobre una vela, así, y después ponen el líquido en agua fría para que se endurezca.
And afterwards they put that lead in water, cold water.
Así se ve el plomo derretido. Se llama Bleigießen en alemán. Bleigießen. La forma en la que queda el plomo.
The shape that the lead takes on or goes into. Okay, the shape, the form. Okay, la forma. I want you to notice a thread that goes through, and we'll come back to this in a little bit. There's a thread of common types of words throughout this video, okay?
Te dice que te traerá el año que viene. Si tienes
the shape of the lead tells you what is awaiting you, what is coming towards you in the new year. Esto es raro. This one's kind of odd.
Forma de corona significa riqueza. Una cruz significa muerte y una estrella significa felicidad. Este, por ejemplo, parece un brazo
It looks like an arm.
muy fuerte. Quizá significa que el próximo año serás muy fuerte. Este parece un corazón.
Y parece es una palabra importante. Parece, sí, parece, seems like, looks like. Bien, seems like, looks like. Un corazón, bien, bien.
Yo pienso que significa que tendrás una pareja el próximo año. Estos parecen vegetales. Yo no sé qué significa.
I don't know what that means.
Quizá significa que en el próximo año tú tendrás una buena cosecha
Maybe you'll get a good
en el
crop,
campo.
harvest.
Eso es muy bueno. ¿Qué cosas interesantes haces en tu país? Quizá
What interesting things do they do in your country? ¿Tenemos tradiciones del Año Nuevo aquí en Estados Unidos? Tenemos, sí, Marcos.
En Texas comen black-eyed peas.
Eso sí. También en Georgia. Tengo un buen amigo que vive en Georgia.
Sí.
Y también comen como, sí, lentejas son como lentejas, pero se llaman black-eyed peas, sí, en inglés.
Collards.
Sí, verduras, sí, sí, como lechuga un poquito, sí, sí, ok, sí, bien, collards también, sí, pero en el sur de Estados Unidos, en el norte, no hacemos eso. Bebemos mucho. Tenemos vino, cerveza y whisky, todo eso, sí, el fin del año, pero lentejas no tanto. ¿Hay otras tradiciones en Estados Unidos para el año nuevo?
En Pennsylvania comen pork and sauerkraut en el primer día del año.
¡Wow! ¿Puerco? ¿Y cuál? ¡Wow! No
Good
sabía.
luck, buena suerte.
Es para buena suerte.
I
¡Wow!
think it might be German or Pennsylvania Dutch kind of thing.
Quizás,
Sí,
sí.
How do you say sauerkraut?
Sauerkraut es algo difícil porque, bueno, vamos a ver, ¿por qué? Porque la idea de sauerkraut no existe. Hay algunas comidas que no existen o no se hacen con frecuencia, ¿sí? En otros países no es tan común a tener como sauerkraut. Sí, en Polonia, en Rusia, en Alemania es muy común, pero no es tan común. Sí, sauerkraut, no. Col, cabbage, sí, se come col. Pero sauerkraut no es tan común. Bien.
How do you say sour?
Chucrut.
¿Cómo se dice sour?
Pues amargo, pero no se traduce exactamente. Yeah, this is one of those things that doesn't really. Ok, aquí. Hay un diccionario que nos dice que fermented cabbage y nadie en inglés dice, fermented cabbage, ¿sí? Es churrut, 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 pero no comemos en los países churrut con mucha frecuencia como sauerkraut en inglés. Hay muchas comidas que no se traducen muy bien. There are many food type words that don't always translate very well, mostly because they come from a different culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, into that. And that particular food may not be so common. Okay. Pero, okay. La idea que conecta todo, the idea that connects everything. We're going to go back and look at this a little bit, and I'm going to give you in the link. You're going to get the link that will have all of this again. I want you to notice a little link that we're actually going to practice, and I'm going to back this up a little bit. Fíjense, notice. Fíjense, notice. Algunas palabras. This is something, es un hábito, it's a habit that I want you to notice, ¿sí? Un hábito, quiero que ustedes se fijen en este hábito. I want you to notice this habit. When you do any kind of listening or reading or anything like that, always be on the lookout for these kind of words, which is going to be kind of the little kernel of our next practice. Palabras como diciembre, diciembre. These are going to be words that if you don't quite catch it or you're not quite sure, it's probably something called a cognate. And I want you to notice how many times the cognates pop up. What are cognates? You'll be able to figure that out in a minute, en un minuto. Diciembre, tradición. Tradición es un cognado. It is a cognate. Okay. Even significa. Significa. But do you use signify a lot in English? When you chit chat with the guys next door? No, you don't. But you do know what that word means, right? Significa means, signifies, represents, okay? Recibir, recibir. Es un cognado. This is a cognate. So in other words, when a lot of times when we listen to a video, there are going to be things you can guess at. Utilizar, even if you don't know or use that word, you can guess because of its relationship to an English word. Utilize, use. Interior, un cognado. A cognate, interior. Okay, yeah, we term it. Color, color. Color es un cognado. It's a cognate. Cognates are words that sound like English words and they mean what you think they mean, okay? Or very close to it, okay? So color es un cognado, that is direct cognate. We use that. We pronounce it differently, yeah, but it is a cognate. And cognates are very important words you should always be on the lookout for. Personas, un cognado. This thing is littered with cognados. So what is the point of that? The point of this is even the word riqueza, riqueza. We have the word riches, which that's not a direct cognate, but yeah, riches, you can kind of see there's a relationship. Algo más. There's one other. Yeah, well, you know, this whole thing of tradiciones, see, traditions. This whole thing is littered with lots and lots of cognates. And notice Here's another example of these words that don't translate. Whiskey is just said as whiskey. They they make it Spanish. Yeah. So lots of things in the food world won't translate exactly, and some words will get borrowed from other languages because it's something that's common in a different country, but maybe not in that Spanish speaking country. But this whole little video, and I'll give you the link for it so you can watch it again later on your own, is riddled with cognates. So a lot of times when we listen, even if it feels kind of Swiss cheese, like we understand some words, but not all, that is okay. When you listen to a video like this, it is very common. Do not think you're abnormal. No, 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 no. It is very common to have to listen to some of these videos tres veces, maybe 3 times, maybe more. It's common to have to do that because you're going to pick up some things the first time you listen. You're likely to pick up those cognates. Tradición interior. See, diciembre. Yeah. You're going to pick up those color. You're going to pick up those cognate words first, and that's going to be the solid part of your Swiss cheese. That's going to be the part you do get, but there are going to be other things that are the holes in the Swiss cheese that you may not quite get, that you need to go back and listen to. Yeah, yet another time, or maybe a third time, or maybe even a fourth time. And never think that that's abnormal. That is okay. Yeah, because we want to fill in the holes in the Swiss cheese. Yeah, with the other things we don't know. Okay, vale, entienden, but you get the idea. So we're going to take a look at cognates. I'm going to give you another video that I'm not going to play right now, but another video to watch on your own later on that will talk a little bit about cognates. And we're going to take a look at cognates right now. So here comes the little file that I sent yesterday, and you'll get a link for this again in the email after class. Cognados y palabras que puedes adivinar. Words you can guess. Okay. Words you can guess because they're kind of close to something in English. Most of the time, these cognates happen because there is some Latin word, yeah, that Spanish uses that also comes into English, but oddly enough, comes into English through French. And sometimes in English, this word, this cognate, may be something that is a higher level, a more highfalutin word, like utilize, utilizar, utilizar. When you chit chat with people across the fence in your backyards, you don't generally say, you're going to utilize that chainsaw. No, you're going to say you're going to use that chainsaw. So some of these cognates are what we call higher level words because they're words that come into English from French, yeah, that also have a Latin base. But you're not likely to use the word utilizar, utilize, but you do know what it means and you have heard it. So you can guess. So we're going to take a look at these cognados. And we're going to do this first. Y voy a engrandecer. I'm going to make this bigger. Aquí. Más grande. Mejor. Better. Sí. Okay. So here's the caveat, the warning, the little thing you need to watch out for. Cognates help you to understand what somebody else is saying, like to get the gist. Yeah, the main idea. But when we look at using these cognados, using these words ourselves to speak to other people, we have to make sure not to anglicize them. And that means your brain desperately wants to pronounce these words as they would be used in English, even when you try not to. You may be trying not to, but your English brain, which you've lived in your skin all your life, desperately wants to make this into an English word. So what we need to remember when we actually use these words is to stick to the Spanish pronunciation, okay? And the Spanish pronunciation is going to mean that rule number one, make sure you get those vowels really, really into Spanish mode, because the vowels are flat out 100% the most important thing you need to practice and get right and nail it to be understood. Okay. Okay. There are, I think it's been analyzed, there are like 19 vowel sounds in English. And yeah, 19, you know, because O may be pronounced as O or or yeah, other things combined with other letters, O, U, ow. Yeah, and so we have lots of sounds. So here are the sounds that you need to make sure you make them sound Spanish and not make them sound English. There is no other sound for that letter. There's no ah, there's no a. Yeah. There is an but that's it, right? Eh, 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 eh. Smile a little when you say eh sound. Eh, eh. That's the only sound you've got for that. Okay. E, E, E. That's the only sound you got for that. E, E. Vale, bueno. Oh, that's the only sound you got for that letter. Okay. Cuidado. Careful with this little letter, because should always be a short sound. Oh, not oh. Yeah. So the trap we fall into as English speakers is we drag that O out. We really do. You may say, I don't do that. Well, in English, you probably do. Yeah. Yeah. Close the door drags out that sound in English, but it should be short. So think when you see and pronounce to keep it short. Okay, vale, bien. Por fin. Now, once in a while, that little will go silent once in a while. Okay, de vez en cuando. From time to time, that letter O may be one of the few silent letters, but not all the time, only in specific cases, like when it's a GUE, right? Or QUE, right? That word que, what? We don't pronounce the U. But in other combinations, the only sound that is going to make is U. Okay, so fíjense. Notice, really pay attention to pronouncing these sounds, not as an anglicized A-E-I-O-U, but A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U. And you will tackle 70% of the pronunciation difficulties that English speakers have with Spanish, okay? It will help people to understand you, because Spanish is highly, highly dependent on these vowels being pronounced correctly for people to understand you. Okay, vale, bien. Cognados. We're going to step through this because you're going to take another bit of this to go into smaller rooms, but we're going to do this one together, all with a big group. Pronunciación. Wow, qué palabra larga. What a long word. Okay. So before you get flustered with that, break it up. Don't do supercalifragilisticexpialidocious to yourself. Okay. Pronunciación.
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 That last, ooh, esta parte. This part is the stinker. It's the bad one because your brain desperately wants to say shun.
Sion.
Your brain desperately wants to say shun, but we don't do
Sion.
that in Spanish. Sion.
Sion.
Sion. Okay. And that little accent mark over the O in sion just means that we punch that O sound a little bit harder than the other sounds. That's all that means. We don't pronounce the O differently. It's still O. We just put more emphasis on that than the other syllables, right? You want to put the right emphasis on the syllable so people can understand you, okay? Emphasis on the syllable is important. Okay. Pronunciación. Okay, what you're going to do with not this slide, because we're going to kind of model what you're going to do for the next thing. We're going to see if we can build a real simple idea to communicate using all these cognates today. That's going to be our job for class today. That's why it's an easy class. Es una clase fácil. Pronunciación. La pronunciación de español es fácil. Pronunciation in
Easy.
Spanish is easy.
Easy, yeah.
La pronunciación en inglés es difícil. La pronunciación en inglés es loca. Pronunciation in English is crazy.
Pronunciación.
Is it not?
Es loco. Sí.
Tough,
Sí. Sí.
but through. OUGH? Ay, qué pesadilla. What a nightmare. Sí, la pronunciación en inglés es difícil. So what you're going to do with the next slide, not this one, we're doing this one all together, is to build a little short sentence, a short idea, maybe even a fragment, maybe not even a whole sentence, but using that word, okay? Using cognates. Okay, pronunciación. Bueno, reunión. Reunión. ¿Qué en inglés? ¿Cómo se dice?
Meeting. The meeting.
Reunion,
meeting,
pero meeting. It probably means meeting. But see, now reunion,
Yeah.
we've got that word reunion. That would be true cognate. And reunión can mean a reunion, but more frequently it's used as meeting. But what is a meeting? But it's a reunion of people getting together. Yeah. So even though usually that means meeting, and okay, meeting is not, yeah, it doesn't look like reunión. You know what that activity is from seeing that word reunión. Sí, reunión. Okay. Una frase con reunión. Hoy tenemos una reunión en la clase de español.
Ujú.
Hoy,
Sí.
hoy tenemos, sí, una reunión. Carrie, ¿tienes pregunta?
Yeah, I have a question. So when I'm listening to that, I'm hearing you say like a yawn in the end of that. Is that what I'm hearing right?
Reunión.
Yawn. It's not a eon.
Reunión.
It's like a yawn at the end. Is
Es
that correct?
sutil. It is subtle. Yeah. We want to punch that
Pay
oh
attention.
sound more at the end.
Everything with it.
Reunión.
Yawn.
Reunión.
Reunión.
Yeah. The accent.
Eso, sí.
Reunión.
Gracias. Sí, Carrie. Sí, exacto. Ok.
Profesión.
Mhm.
Hoy tenemos una reunión de la clase de español. Otro ejemplo, another example of using reunión in a simple idea
Reunión.
is something like this. Ah, no me gustan las reuniones.
I don't.
I hate
like.
meetings, yeah. I heard.
En el trabajo, at work, en la oficina, cognate, in the office, en la oficina no me gustan las reuniones. I don't like meetings.
Business
Okay.
meeting.
Normal. Ya, sí, bien. Bueno, profesión. Profesión es cognado. Profesión. Ok, vale. Bueno, por ejemplo, profesión, ¿sí? La profesión de mi esposo,
Yeah.
my husband's profession,
Yeah.
es como programador.
Teacher, programmer.
Programador, sí,
There's a
de
different word.
computadora, ¿sí? Bien, vale, bien. Okay, vale. Now, we're going to have you use the next one here, and I'm going to ask somebody to step out there, be brave, ¿sí? Sean valientes, be brave.
Decisión.
Decisión es cognado. Decisión. And you know what decisión means. Decisión. ¿Verdad? Decisión. So now the only tweak you need to know to use this is that in Spanish, we don't make a decision. We take a decision.
Oh, I thought about that. I mean, I remember
You
that.
don't make a decision in Spanish, you take it.
Awesome.
That's that word tomar. Okay? Tomar. So we don't use, you would think this is the word that means make or do, right? Hacer. But we're not going to use that to say you make a decision. See? We're going to use this word for, even though it doesn't mean make. You take a decision in Spanish. Okay. Un ejemplo. ¿Alguien quiere hacer una frase? Anybody want to make a sentence with tomar and decisión?
I will. No puedo tomar una decisión para cenar.
Bien, sí. No puedo tomar. I can't make, but literally I can't take. No puedo tomar una decisión para cenar about what to eat for dinner, right?
Sí.
Sí, eso. Oh, por ejemplo, un niño de
Cualquiera.
3 años,
Ujú.
un niño de 3 años no toma buenas decisiones. A 3-year-old does not make good decisions. Un niño de 3 años no toma buenas decisiones. Normal, ¿no? Normal. Ok. Marco, sí.
La semana pasada tomamos decisión, compramos o comprar nuevo aire acondicionado.
Bien. Ok, vale. Bien. Ok. O, por ejemplo, en 2024, este año, el año nuevo, quiero comprar un carro nuevo. ¿Sí? Voy a tomar una decisión
Have to make a decision
en
about buying.
febrero. Voy a tomar una decisión en febrero. I'll make a decision. I'll make up my mind in February. ¿Sí? ¿Vale? Bien. Okay. Y por fin, here's the last one we're going to do together, and then you're going to take the new ones and work them on your own in smaller groups later. Colaboración. This may look like it's kind of a highfalutin word. Okay. Colaboración es, en inglés es collaboration, but wow, people talk about collaboration for bad things. Whoa, those people collaborated with the Nazis.
Yeah.
We kind of have a connotation sometimes with, collaboration. Yeah. But really in Spanish, it's very innocent.
Working together.
Yeah, what it means. And this is a word that is used a lot in Spanish, really frequently. And all it means is that let's get together and let's work together. Let's work together. Okay. So colaboración. That's how we should look at this word. I know it's long and it looks intimidating. Colaboración. Colaboración.
Colaboración.
And this one, Carrie, just has that up punch at the end too. Yeah. Colaboración. Because there are a whole bunch of syllables. And which one do you punch harder? Well, that accent mark just tells you, yeah, you punch the O harder at the end, harder than the other syllables. Okay. Colaboración. All it means is working together. See? Your sentence can be as easy as this. Me gusta la colaboración en la oficina. It can be as easy as that. Me gusta la colaboración en la oficina. It can be as simple as that. See? Or, por example, la colaboración es importante. So your sentence can be as simple as that. Okay. I don't want you to write term papers. No. We want to express some simple ideas. See? La colaboración es importante. Bien? La colaboración. So now we know not to anglicize those words. We're going to use it. We're going to preview which words you're going to use in your cognates. Okay. Cognates. This DAD, or it could show up as TAD, is similar to the English ITY. It's often. Yeah, nothing's 100%, but often. Okay. Comunidad. We're going to preview this so that you know how to pronounce these correctly first all together, and then I'll send you into groups. Comunidad.
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 Comunidad. En inglés es sí, eso. Habilidad. Habilidad. We're going to punch the end syllable in all of these. When you have a the word or a the word, we always punch the end more. Even though there's not an accent mark there, that's what we will punch a little bit harder. Yeah, we'll stress it more. Habilidad. Habilidad. Bien? Okay. Cantidad. Cantidad. Cantidad.
Oh, quantity.
Oh, I would never have gotten that.
Cantidad. Se escribe. Yeah, it's a cognate, really, because when it comes from that Latin thing, we share that, right? We just spell it with a Q. Yeah. We don't spell it with a Q in Spanish. No?
I'd fall into looking at that as singing. Something's cantar.
Cantada, yeah.
See? Calidad.
Calidad.
Calidad. Calidad. Amistad. ¿Qué es amistad en inglés? Amistad.
Amistad.
Amistad. Think amigo. What do you think amistad means? It's a thing. It's a quality.
Our friendship.
Friendship. Eso es. Felicidad. Felicidad.
Celebrate.
It
Happy,
comes-
happy.
Yeah, it's a longer form. It's based on the idea of feliz. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. See? Feliz, felicidad,
Happiness.
happiness.
Felicidad.
So I'm going to break you out into some smaller groups. You may or may not want to take some little notes. Como quieran, as you feel like it, as you want, as you wish. Okay. But I want you, and actually, you will see these words in your rooms. Okay. I can sum that into each little separate room. So you will see that once you go into your rooms. And what I want you guys to do is to build some very short sentences. I'm going to give you about 5 minutes, and I want you to make them simple. And if you're that advanced and you want to be fancier, well, go ahead and be a fancy person. Bien, fantástico. Okay, a ver. I need mi botón. ¿Dónde está mi botón? Where the heck is my little button? Where'd my button go? ¿Dónde está el botón?
Oh,
Don't tell me they changed my button. Ah, breakout rooms. Aquí está. Vale, vale, vale. Vamos a ver. Un momentito, momentito. Algo.
one moment, please.
I'm going to add one more room. And because actually we've got a group here that's got too many people.
Oh, these are
A ver.
This is the whole class.
Oh,
Okay, vale, bien. You should have 3 people in each group. That gives you a chance to practice a little bit. So practice and critique
Oh, I-
each other, help each other with pronunciation if you find a difficulty with any words, but build some really simple sentences. I'm going to actually put my timer on to make this just 5 minutes, 5 minutos. Bien, sí, vale? And I want you to practice building a really simple sentence with these words, and you're going to see the words when you get into you're going to hit your join button. And I'm going to send this list of words into your rooms. Bien. Aquí vienen. Here it comes. Creo que sí. I think so. I think we are set. And Sway, I hope you have your join button. Oh, there she goes. Okay. Vale, fantástico. Vamos a ver, 5 minutos. Mis estudiantes necesitan 5 minutos para hablar y conversar un poquito. Vale, a ver, como la comunidad. Habilidad, cantidad, calidad, amistad, felicidad.
Up with me.
Ok, vale, bien, 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 bien. Muy bien. Bueno, okay. When we come back out of a breakout room, what I want us to ideally do is to, if you guys had a really great example, share it with the rest of the group. Or if you said, you know, we kind of tried to say this, but we stumbled over our feet a little bit. How do we fix that? How do we say this? You come back and ask questions. So questions, great examples, questions, great examples. Okay, vale. Vamos a ver. Let's take a look at that.
We had a great example that Jim came up with.
Vale, bien. Dinos, tell us.
Por favor, Jim, tell him.
Oh, no, it's the third and fourth words. We just cheated and did es cantidad o calidad. Is it quantity or quality?
Cantidad, sí,
muy bien.
sí, eso sí, sí. Cantidad y calidad. Wow, look at how close those words are together. Sí,
Yeah.
cantidad, calidad, sí,
Yeah.
sí.
Cantidad,
Ah,
calidad.
sí,
Yeah.
bueno, bueno, más, ¿qué más? ¿Qué más? What else? What other comments, examples, questions do you have? Sí, Carrie.
I had one, and it's mostly about the buen or bien. Tengo una buen amistad con mi amiga Bev.
Otra vez, tengo una.
Tenga una bien or buen amistad con mi amiga Bev. I wasn't sure if it was, how do you say good friendship? I have a
Good friendship.
with my,
See. Okay. All these words, every single one, 100% of the time, TAD and DAD words are all feminine. So what are you going to do to buen?
it's una,
Buena,
right?
buena.
Buena.
Ah, sí.
Buena.
Okay.
Tengo una buena amistad.
Buena. Sí.
Tengo una
ah,
buena amistad con mi amiga Carla. Tengo una buena amistad con mi amiga Wendy. Sí, como así, ¿bien? Perfecto, ¿ok?
Marilyn, we have a question. If these are feminine, and if you're going to say they're interesting, interesante, what's the ending on that?
Oh, interesante to talk about a
Sí.
feminine thing is
Yeah.
still interesante.
Okay.
Those
Okay.
description words that end in an the smiley letter, like interesante, importante. See, they use the same word for masculine and feminine. The only thing you
Okay.
worry about is if it's plural.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Por
Okay.
ejemplo, por ejemplo, Scottsdale, Chandler y Gilbert son comunidades importantes.
Mhm.
Son
Sí.
comunidades importantes en Arizona. They're
Yeah.
important communities. So the only thing you worry about with words like importante or interesante are to make them plural,
Well,
but
okay.
those descriptive words that end in an sound, they get the same form for masculine and feminine. Buena pregunta. Good question. Okay, vale. ¿Qué más? What else?
I have a question. So my sentence was, felicidad es un perrito. Do I need like la felicidad or just felicidad?
Es mejor decir la felicidad. Sí, la felicidad.
Okay.
That is
Okay.
better to use with the la, because you're
Okay.
talking about that as a general quality,
Uh-huh.
right?
Mhm.
Sí. Sí, la felicidad. This is kind of a different topic, which we may explore more if you wish to, but in general, Spanish tends to use those the words more frequently than English
Mhm.
will, but especially when we're talking about something in a very general way as the big picture, we will use the word the, where English does not. Okay, otro ejemplo, another example of that, not using a cognate, but another example of that. Los perros son fantásticos. Dogs are fantastic, meaning all dogs. Yeah, dogs as a category of animal. Los perros son fantásticos. Los perros son cariñosos. Dogs are loving. See? When we talk about something as a general category, in English, we'll just say dogs. And that means all dogs. Yeah, you could say all dogs, but yeah. But in Spanish, we will use the word. We will use that. Okay. Buena pregunta. Good question. Okay. ¿Qué más? ¿Qué más? What else? Oh, adelante. Or moving on? ¿Sí?
Mhm.
Okay. Vale. Perfecto. Perfecto. Okay. Otros cognados. Here are some more cognates that I want you to use, but we're going to practice. Then these are actually shorter words. Exterior.
Exterior.
Exterior means what it sounds like,
Mhm.
right? The outside of something. Exterior. Exterior. Interior.
Inside.
El ejemplo en el video fue la
Ropa
ropa
interior.
interior, la ropa interior, underwear, ¿sí? Interior es inside of or interior, ¿sí? Ok, interior, básico, básico,
Basic.
básico. this accent on the ah doesn't mean we pronounce that ah differently. We just punch that syllable harder than the co syllables. Básico. Right. So it's not, por ejemplo, básico or básico. It's básico. Básico. Okay.
Básico.
Básico. Básico es basic. Sí. Simple.
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 Simple, something that does not have like lots of pieces or lots of different complicated things attached to it. Simple. Simple. It's what you think it means. Social.
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 Social. I want to give you one little fun fact. Here's a fun fact about the word social. Es muy cómodo en español hablar de las redes sociales. Red. Oh, red is not a cognate. It does not mean rojo, color.
Redes.
Red means a
Network.
net, or in this case, oops, network. Las redes sociales. People talk about this a lot in Spanish.
Social network.
Social networks. So when people talk about redes sociales, they're talking about Facebook, Reddit, Instagram. Yeah, all those things. Las redes sociales. Yeah. Bien. Okay, vale. I'm going to send you back out into your groups. I want you to build some more sentences. 5 minutos, 5 minutes work. Sí, 5 minutos. Okay, vale, bien. You will get the list of words in your group when you go into your breakout groups. So don't worry about furiously copying. No need to furiously copy. There comes your join button. And now I need to send out your words into all those little rooms. Bien. Excelente. A ver. Mi reloj. I need to set my clock. 5 minutos. Ok. Exterior, interior, básico, simple, social. Descripciones. These are more descriptions. They might be actually things. Exterior is actually, yeah, can be a description or can actually be a place. El exterior de mi casa, por ejemplo. El interior de mi casa. Ok. Y vamos a ver cómo se usan estas palabras. We'll see how these words get used. 2 minutos. Nos queda 1 minuto más o menos. Y después 1 minuto más para terminar el ejercicio. We'll got about 1 minute left on the clock and then 1 more minute for people to wrap up. Cinco, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 y mi cronómetro sonó. Okay, my little stopwatch sounded. Qué bien. 1 minuto más. We'll give everybody a minute to wrap up. Bien, perfecto. Vale, bien. Hola, Jimmy. Eres el primero. You're the first guy back. Okay, vale.
I hit the button first.
Some people need more time to finish up than others. It's always it's a guessing game because it's never the same with
There's my
anyone.
team. That's my team right there.
Ah, sí, sí, sí.
Back.
Nice, nice.
We're a little slow.
Yeah, I had to redo a couple of my little groups of that because I was like, oh yeah, that's going to be actually 2 people.
We're getting shirts. We're gonna get shirts. They say room 4.
Eso sí. Ay, hace frío hoy. Hace frío. Tengo una chaqueta en el interior de mi casa. Llevo puesta esta chaqueta. Qué horror que tengo que llevar una chaqueta aquí dentro de mi casa. Wow. Ok. Bien, bien. Perfecto. And you will know a lot of these words were more descriptive in nature rather than things. These can be a little bit more of a descriptive type of words. Okay, vale. ¿Cuáles son sus preguntas? What are your questions o ejemplos o buen ejemplos or your good examples that you want to share?
We had a question
Okay,
with where these words would go in a sentence. And I was trying to say, I speak basic Spanish. And so I said, hablo español básico.
bien,
Is that
perfecto.
correct? Is that okay?
Sí, sí.
Okay.
Now, hablo español muy básico. I speak very basic Spanish. Bien, okay. Buena frase, good sentence. And it usually will be español básico. Okay. Now, because most descriptive words come after the noun. That is something that's a word order thing that is very different from what you're used to in English. We say basic Spanish. The tendency will be to say español básico. Okay, put that básico after the thing we're describing, your Spanish. Now, if you mess up and use that and say básico español, would somebody still understand you? Yes. So there are some mistakes or little flubs which are an NBD, no big deal. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it'll sound a little odd to them, but they get your basic gist. Yeah, right. So, yeah. So we strive for no big deal kind of mistakes if when we can, because yeah, so we're all going to make mistakes. Everybody does. Native speakers make mistakes all the time. We do that in English as well. Okay. ¿Hay otra pregunta o hay otro ejemplo? Is there some other example or some other?
Una
as-
pregunta, por favor. I
as-
use, do you have somebody you're talking to, Marilyn?
Cindy, go ahead. And then Mark has a question.
Okay. I was doing the same thing, but said, mi español es básico.
Perfecto.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
good.
Mi español es muy básico. Sí. My Spanish is basic. Sí.
And as we all know, no es simple hablar español.
Sí. Now, they will tend to phrase that a little bit more as no es fácil hablar español. Sí.
Not-
Simple, I put up there because it's a cognate. But if we want to say it's not simple to speak Spanish, we will generally not put the word simple in. Simple is used, and this is, okay, un ejemplo, ¿sí?
Uncomplicated.
Hoy, no quiero cocinar. I don't want to cook. No quiero cocinar. Voy a preparar una cena muy simple. I'm going to prepare a really simple supper. Simple is used more in that sense. And this is kind of a subtle thing, but simple kind of indicates something that doesn't have a lot of moving parts, if you will.
And you
Something
see,
that is-
you're proving my point that it's not simple to speak Spanish.
Yeah, but sí, no es, sí. Generally, that will be expressed with the word fácil, but that's just kind of a word usage. They say no es, no es simple. Sí,
This is right then.
no es una cosa simple. It's not a simple thing. That.
Yeah,
Sí.
sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a
Bueno,
question,
sí, dime.
David.
Oh, well, mine was mi español es simple.
Sí, mi español
Can
es
you-
básico. Sí, yeah, simple is, I probably should have chosen a different word. Simple is used in a little more specifically to talk about like not a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
Or not a lot of components.
Yeah.
A little bit differently, but that's okay. Yeah. Always know that, fácil is the word for easy. Yeah. So in a lot of instances, Spanish will actually use this word. So, you know what? I'm going to include it on our screen here. Fácil. Uy,
Fácil, yeah.
I got on my keyboard here. Fácil, even though it means easy, is often used to say simple, often in Spanish. See, fácil. It's not a simple thing. It's not an easy thing. Okay. Bien. Bueno, otros ejemplos. Any other examples? Adelante. Y nos queda. Sí, bien.
We'll ask her about this.
Well,
I was trying to say social media, and is that different than social network? Because when
It is
I
the
looked it up,
same.
You can find
I
out.
just-
And it will
Okay.
usually be used in the plural because there are many different platforms people may use for social media. Well, actually, a media is actually, I believe, if you want to get really technical and like grammar Nazi kind of person with English, I think media is technically a plural word. See, las redes sociales. Las redes sociales. Uso mucho las redes sociales. I use social networks a lot. I use, those media a lot. Sí, por ejemplo. Sí, bien. ¿Vale?
we tried one called, I tried one from my high school, but La Exterior está frío.
El exterior.
Yeah.
El
Oh,
exterior.
Okay.
El exterior, el interior, sí, bien. Vale. Veo el reloj. I'm looking at the clock. We've just got a little bit of time. I'm gonna fast forward here. I'm gonna ask you to do something here. I'm gonna ask you to come up with some examples for this next one. This is the same set. Come up with some examples to share. And if you don't have time to do all of those, pick maybe 3. Yeah, see, me? Yeah, you don't get grades. Es para practicar, it's to practice. Yeah, yeah. And maybe again, and I'll put some, these are words that are not strictly cognates, but we have some words that are kind of close. So I'll put the English in for these so that even though they're not direct cognates, we have a word in English that's close enough that you can get the gist, the main idea, even if you don't know the exact translation of the word.
Okay.
The slide. So I'll give you the English for these. And very one. This one I want to spend our last few minutes on because sometimes cognates are not what you think. Some things are called false cognates, meaning this is a no-brainer. I got this. And then you use it and you get, wow, smacked up by reality that it's not what you think. Once in a while, some words are false cognates. So I want to point out some words that you shouldn't use the wrong way. There aren't a lot of these, but there are a few that come up once in a while. So embarazada, por ejemplo, embarazada does not mean what you think. It means that. Oh, yeah. Largo does not mean large, even though, boy, it's really close to this, how we spell large, isn't it? Largo is long, which is, well, okay. Yeah. It indicates, that, but, in length, okay? Sopa, claro, sí, sopa is not soap, it is soup, see?
Sure.
Éxito is not the way to get out of the building.
Okay.
It means success. Or, if you're talking about Taylor Swift and she's got a hit, they'll call that éxito. It's a hit.
Yes.
But éxito means success.
Cool.
Fábrica does not mean fabric. Fábrica is a factory.
Right.
So it's really closer to our highfalutin Latin word of fabricate.
Yeah.
When you fabricate something, you're manufacturing. No, that's what it is. Fábrica, manufacturing place. It's Realizar is not really realize. I just realized what the time is. No, realizar is, it's hard to, it's to get it done. It means to make something happen, to make something work out is realizar. But it doesn't mean like, whoa, I didn't realize what time it is. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So cuidado. This one here is a really common cognate that people get wrong. Actual looks like actual. It sounds like actual, but it means this. It means current or right now.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Actual does not mean what it looks like. Pie has nothing to do with apple pie. Pie is your foot. Okay. Molestar. Yeah. Molestar has nothing to do with handsy politicians. Molestar means to bother or annoy. And, really you can use that in the most innocent of just somebody who's bugging, the guy on the bus or the subway who chooses not to use headphones and plays his videos or his songs out loud for everyone who doesn't necessarily want to hear it. That's molestar. Yeah. Ropa does not mean a rope, of course, but ropa is clothes, clothing. Yeah. Sí. Introducir. importante. This is important. We don't use introducir to introduce somebody. That's presentar. Introducir is to do this. Okay, por ejemplo, tengo una cajita aquí. I got a little box here. Here's what introducir means. Introducir.
To drop, to put in.
Introducir means to put something inside of something else.
Yeah.
Cuidado. If you use introducir with a human being, I want to introduce this person. Don't do that. They'll be thinking about the English translation of this. Don't go there. Introducir, cuidado, careful. Don't do that. Introducir means to put something inside of something else. Okay, so like you're putting a coin into a machine. Is that kind of, yeah, so don't go there. Chocar does not mean to choke. Chocar means to crash or run into. Oops, I can spell. Yeah. Smack. Yeah, chocar. Boom. That's chocar. It's not choke. Okay. Asistir does not mean to assist or help out. Asistir means to attend. Okay, so I'm just pointing out some false cognates that get a chuckle out of Spanish speakers. Constipación really just means this, guys, usually.
Really?
Yeah. Well, es lógico. This is one that's logical, though, isn't it? Yeah. Constipación. Tengo la nariz constipada. I have a constipated nose. Well, it's blocked up. Of course it is. Okay. Bien. But you got your false ones at the end. So play around a little with a few of those. See? Bien. That'll be kind of your homework. So work on those for the and you will also get a little listening video for fun as homework. It will not necessarily have to do with grammar per se, but it'll be for you to listen not once, probably not even twice, but probably 3 times. Yeah, and turn on the closed caption in Spanish, please, en español, and listen for the story and see how many cognates you can pick up in the listening comprehension. Some videos will have more cognates, some will have fewer, but you know, what you're going for the first time you listen is the big idea, the main idea, yeah. And then you want to kind of fill in the holes in the Swiss cheese with the second and third listening. Sí, bien?
Bien.
Bien. One of my goals for this session, para que sepan, so you know, is to work a little bit on that thing they call reflexive verbs. Those little pronouns like me, te, nos, se. Ooh, that se thing. Special verbs that use those little words. See, bien, so that you know that's coming down the pike. Bien. Y la semana que viene, the week that is coming, next week, we're going to do a little work with 2 really basic verbs of hay, there is, there are, and está.
Está, yeah.
And how we use them differently. Okay, how we use them differently, and why that matters and how it can make you sound more natural to use them properly. See, because what's the difference between is and there is? Yeah, I and está. So I hope I hope to pick up with that, because again, it's a very basic thing. It's a very easy thing, but something we can kind of trip up on sometimes. So just something to smooth it out and make our Spanish sound a little more natural, a little more polished. See, bien? Todo bien?
Bien.
Todo bien.
any requests you have for things you want to work on, feel free to email me. Bien. And I will make sure I include it during winter session. Okay, vale. ¿Todo bien? All good?
Todo
Okay.
bien.
Gracias.
Todo bien,
bien.
todo bien.
Hasta
Bueno,
luego.
Hasta luego.
excelente, excelente. And I will hope to get your email if they get you registered. Sí, bien. Yeah, sí, sí, eso es.
Sí.
And we will all be good. Okay, nos vemos, sí, la semana que viene. Que viene, la semana que viene. Next week, sí, la semana que
Viene.
viene. Sí.
Sí, gracias.
Muchas gracias.
De
Hasta
nada, de
luego.
nada. Es un placer.